Namaskar, good morning. Suraj Singh, civilian here, Bharat Faridabad. As daily talk again today, and I just want to today talk about what we have discussed so far on these plain talks about our country, about other countries, about world. Majority of my talks have been on our own country, but we take reflections from other countries as well, from other parts of world, what's happening there, what happening. For example, there's so many issues. Well, we start with Bharat India ourselves. I will discuss the Constitution of India, Bharat ka Samvidhan, which has been devised, enacted, adopted, visioned, approved, and handed over to us by ourselves. We gave it to ourselves. We people of Bharat gave it to ourselves. And I again read for those maybe who missed that what we talk about, and that is very important. And that is about preambles of this constitution, which says that listen again so that it's clear. We can just talk about all these points today. The preambles of Constitution of India states, commands, mandates, we people of Bharat, India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India Bharat into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring dignity of individual and unity and integrity of nation. In our Constituent Assembly, 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt and act and give to ourselves this Constitution. And then there are duties, fundamental duties, and just read them also that we can talk of both together. How many of question is how many of us have been following these fundamental duties? That's a question mark. And leaders of all various parties, do they know these? Do they follow these? That's the part 4A Constitution of India. So Article 51A Fundamental Duties. It shall be duty of every citizen of India, Bharat, to abide by Constitution and respect its ideals and institutions, national flag and national anthem, to cherish and follow noble ideals which inspired our national struggle for freedom, to uphold and protect sovereignty, unity, and integrity of India, Bharat, to defend country and render national service when called upon to do so, to provide harmony and spirit of brotherhood among all people of India, transcending religious, linguistic, and racial and sectional diversities, and to renounce practice derogatory to dignity of women, to value and preserve rich heritage of our culture, to protect and improve natural environment, including forests, lakes, rivers, and wildlife, and to have compassion for living creatures, to develop scientific temper, humanism, and spirit of inquiry and reform, to safeguard public property and to abjure violence, to strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activities so that nation constantly rises to higher level of endeavor and achievement. And as a parent of guardian to provide opportunities for education to his child, as case may be award at an age of 6 and 14 years. These are duties that we are supposed to do. Now let us discuss what we have achieved in preambles. Preambles secure to people. It guarantee to people based on principles of sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. These are 5 parameters. Sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. I explained about these parameters long back. Maybe you remember, maybe you don't remember, or you refresh now. Sovereign means self-rule. Sovereign means I am ruler. Sovereign means I am ruling my own future. I am ruling my own current. So public is ruling its own. That is called sovereign. You yourself are king of this country. This is another meaning. And we are not dependent upon any other country. That's another meaning also. And we are living ourselves. We are making our goals ourselves. We are defining our milestones ourselves. So that is called sovereign. We are self-rulers. No one is there to rule over us. This meaning of sovereign. And if you go to someone else, socialist. We are socialist in what sense? Yes, there is a society. Everybody belongs to society, and there are many societies within one society, and then there are many societies and many more societies. So societies have another kind of hierarchy organization in our country, in every country. But question is, what does socialist mean here? Everybody belongs to society, and society owns everybody, means all wealth of this country belonging to society means belongs to everybody in principle. Though direct ownership doesn't mean that you are directly an owner of that, or you can sell that. You have no authority to sell that property, but this is your property, and that property must be used for you directly or indirectly when it is required. So that is called socialism, means public is owner of everything of this country. Though some people are earning more and some are earning less, that is different case, because it depends upon how much work you do. But when it is required, you shall be taken care of by state, by government, by public. That's called socialism. Go to secular then. Secular, though we call it all religions are there and all are same and all that is just a misconcept. Secular means whatever has been moving, ongoing, being accepted for centuries and millenniums in this country, and whatever is recognized rituals or culture or habits or religious factions or non-religious factions, or if you are atheist, or if you are worshipper, or if you believe in God or don't believe in God, all come under that. It's up to you as an individual what you want to do for yourself. Nobody can come in between you and others, as far as or to an extent it doesn't adversely harm someone else. And that is called secular, means if you worship Hindu gods or Vedic gods or dharma gods, or you worship Islamic, if you worship Guru Granth Sahib, or you worship whatever you want to worship, that is relation between you and Almighty and God, and nothing to do with the state. But state shall not interfere into that until there is no dispute between two blocks, you can say two groups. That is called secularism. You are free to worship your own relation to God. That's secularism. It is through religion, or it is not through religion. It is through sect, or it's not through sect. It is through your personal identification or personal consideration, or it is be directed by someone else. It doesn't make a difference to an extent secularism is concerned, because we are a secular country, means we believe in humanity, we believe in nature, we believe in universe, and that is why it's called secular. It doesn't matter that we stick to some unified recognized position. There is a diversified position, but state doesn't recognize anyone. State honors all as far as constitution is related to. Then we come to democratic. Democratic is a very big factor in all these five, which is it directly impacts upon us. Sovereign doesn't impact upon us directly. Socialist doesn't impact upon us directly. Secular also doesn't impact upon us directly. But democratic impacts upon us as an individual, or individuals in a group of individuals, upon a citizen, upon government, upon a state, upon public, upon institutions, and upon nation. Democratic effects upon relations among various nations, because democratic is basic requirement in whole world to be complied with if you want to be recognized in world according to UN Charter. And the UN Charter is like a nation among whole nations. Democracy not simply means it's election, no, but also it means selection, it means follow-up path, it means compliance, it means results, it means service, it means many more, depending upon circumstances, depending upon various considerations. So democratic means it is public to decide, it is major opinion to decide, it is not simply one person decides, it is a collective decision by public, it is collective decision by state, it is collective decision by institutions, it is collective decisions by everybody. That is called democratic. In your home also you should be democratic according to constitution. You cannot simply apply might is my right. No, you cannot apply that even in your home, in your family. So you may do that virtually, but it is considered that this is collective decisions of your nuclear family or your joint family or your society or whatever you consider about. Democracy means There may be differences of opinions, there may be collection of opinions, there will be integrity of opinions, but ultimately one opinion approved by all, assumed to be unanimous, though it's not unanimous, it's based on majority, but it is assumed to be approved by each and every member of that house, of political house, of individual house, or whatever institutional house it may be. It is called democratic election, democratic selection, democratic work, democratic follow-up, democratic approval, and democratic lead. Everything is like that. In democracy, majority factor and minority factor both are approved, both are recognized, both have their values. Each voter is valued because voter means Democrat. As voter, I am Democrat. As voter, I am franchise holder. As voter, I am suffrage holders. As voter, I am king of this country. As voter, I am sovereign of this country. As voter, I am everything to rule my state for me, by me, and for everybody. That is democracy. It is not mockery. It is not, you can say, dictatorship. It is approval by everybody. So it's not simply vote. Vote is a part of this. It is vote. It is vote, and then follow up, and then examination, and then I audit of that, and everything comes under the critic. You have full power to check your elected representatives. You have full power to ask them to do something, to instruct them something. That is your constitutional right. Your right doesn't stop at vote disposal. It starts at vote disposal commencement. At that point, you have every right. When you vote someone, you get right automatically to command that person that you have to do for me this one. For me means, in a way, everybody wants in that constituency, not only an individual. If suppose a group of people demands to their representative, you have to do this. This means that representative is bound to do that because a group wants that or a community wants that. That democratic person elected democratically is authorized and is bound to work for representatives, work for, you can say, public, because there are many representatives in every house at every level, and voter is an honor of that representative. Voter is a, you can say, principle of that agent representative, democratic elected representative. That is meaning of democracy. It continues, it never stops. You as a voter continue to be in power. You are in power when your MP is in power, when your state is in power, means it is your power they are enjoying. It is never their own achieved power. If you don't want to stay there, they have no right to stay there as representatives, because they are going to represent you. You are not present there, but they are representing you, because you cannot be there according to law and according to system working, but you delegate your power to that person. And this is very big definition of democracy. It is not simply your vote right. Vote right is just a tool. But even if you don't vote someone, person is represented by other people in your group. So it's a different question. You have every right to question. You have every right to raise eyebrows and check what this guy does. You are representative in parliament, you are representative in assembly, you are representative in municipality, you are representative in panchayat, and you are representative everywhere. So don't underestimate yourself. Don't drop your values. Consider yourself high ups. MP is nothing more than you. MLA is nothing more than you. And similarly, councillor is nothing more than you. And panchayat member is also nothing more than you. You are higher than them because they are elected by you. So you have every right to question them. You are paying them. They are not working free. You are affording all expenses which are incurred on them. So it is your basic right to question them and make them accountable. And that is your right as a voter. Franchise, according to Constitution of India, an exclusive right that only citizens have. There are many votes above that, but this is basic, elementary, fundamental vote, which makes your government, which makes the institutions, which makes the judiciary, which makes the executive, which makes the legislature, and which makes your nation. That is called democratic system, democratic voter. So you are democratic voter, you are sovereign voter, you are socialist voter, you are secular voter, you are democratic voter, and you are republic voter. You have to consider it that way. There is no definition given in Constitution, but you have to contemplate definition, and you have to consider that. If you consider that, there is no power that can stop you from that contemplation, from that thinking, from that definition, Constitution, definite construction, because it is right, whatever you can think, because preambles allows that. And I go further with discussion just after that, and let me explain what Republic is about. Republic is written on every passport. You can see Republic of India, Bharat Ganatantra. What does this mean? It's not written there sovereign, it's not written socialist, secular, or democratic, are not written on passport. Republic is written in passport. And many countries use Republic of that one. What Republic means, the spelling says something. You have to take that article meaning of Republic, and that is only an application to us. It means up to 1947, we were ruled by British, and before that by Mughals, and before that by, you can say, these people who migrated from Iraq, Iran, Kurdistan, and you can say Turkey, and up to some parts of Europe, called so-called Pandits, Aryans. They ruled us. And very specifically, it happened that those people came to us, our country. They saw Dravidians staying in north part of our country. They had dispute with them because these people were not very physically strong, these Dravidians, and these were strong, these you can say Pandits or Aryans came to us, and they pushed them out to south part. And they ruled us for centuries and for centuries and for centuries, unlimited centuries. And then came Mughals. There were disputes with them both and continued for centuries. And then came these British guys. What these Aryans consider themselves that they were harmed by Mughals, and that's why there's always enmity between these people and Muslims and Islamic people. And then British came, who had further confrontation with Mughals, and that is the reason that these people only prefer British guys who they consider saved from Mughals. Well, it's just my consideration. It's also available on some internet formations, internet postings, what you may refer to. That's my contemplation, and I cannot prove it, but it's I contemplate that. So why I'm telling this because of the public that we were slaves to British till 1947, when they got freedom into two nations, Bharat, India, and Pakistan. So we are talking about Pakistan, Bharat, not Pakistan. Pakistan has different identity. We are not concerned with that, being citizen of Bharat. And when we refer to this constitution of Bharat, India, Republic means we were under king. King was our master. King was our honor. We kicked out king. I should say kicked out. It is a kicked out, though it was not by kicking actually. It was by various procedures. We kicked out that, and we took over that position. That position was taken over us, our collective public. Whoever were there available, 35 crores people or 30 crores people, those people as public sat on that seat of king, though they cannot sit on that, 35 crore people cannot sit on that, but it is an assumption that our powers, our souls, our spirits, in latter and spirits, occupied that seat of king, and that is why it's called public seat. Means before king it was assumed to be public, and again after king it is public, so it is republic. And when these foreigners didn't come to our country, we were public. Maybe before these people came to our country from what we call Aryans, we were republic. We were public. And again we got the public, and that's the reason we call ourselves republic. So republic has got that type of meaning. I got to understand what I mean. And you should be powerful of that. You should be proud of that. You should feel that you are republic. Means you yourself are king. If you are not full king, you are at least one of 135 crore points king of this country. And this is very important power that you are having, and you should feel proud of that. That you are, though even a small part of that, negligible part of that, but you are king. That is your statutory power. That is your own power. And because in this constitution, you did yourself, you worked upon yourself, you approved yourself, you statutorize yourself, you naturalize yourself, and that is why You are sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic person of this country, and you should salute this constitution, because this is the only constitution which grants to you, which confers on you this power of status of republic. No other documents can confer on you this power. So let's go to further conference on this, and that is that secure to all its citizens. You have to concentrate on this word, that is to secure to all its citizens. Secure to all its citizens. Everybody is citizen, and we all are citizens. And what does it secure? It says secure to all its citizens. This means this constitution's preamble, comprising of sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, allows you, authorize everybody by law, empowers you various parameters, empowers you various structures and various impacts, positive impacts, and that is justice. Second is liberty. Third is equality. These are three basic titles that you get, and that is justice, social, economic, and political, which means every one of us, every citizen of us is guaranteed, is secured to enjoy social justice. Social justice means you are a valuable person in a society. You should not be deprived of any respect, any dignity, any authority which others enjoy. You are in a stream of people who enjoy equal values, equal norms, no down, no degradation, no upgradation. Everybody is same in this society, and that is justice. You should get that justice. You should not be downtraded, you should not be uptraded. You shall equal values in a society, equal benefit in a society, and that is equal standard in a society. You must get then economic justice. Means you should have money with you, you should have value of resources of your nation with you, you should get benefit of those resources, you should benefit of all other parameters that involve economical. It may be microeconomy or it may be macroeconomy. Microeconomy is their own control that is related to your family maintenance and family upgradation or family appurtenance, while macroeconomic is different, which you get the benefits of from nation, because macroeconomy relates to national economy. So you should get benefit of what your country get benefit. You should enjoy that benefit. Lowest stratum people of this nation, Bharat, must get benefit of what macroeconomy delivers. It may deliver anything or it may take from you anything, but it must apply onto you from topmost person to bottommost person to lowest profile person. That benefit must come to that in economic terms. It may be subsidy, it may be other benefit, it may be existence, it may be food, it may be clothing, it may be housing, or it may be development where you are involved. You must be a point of that, you must be a factor of that. It must comprise you. It cannot move without an individual of society at lowest most level, and that is your justice. And you should get political justice. Means politics cannot deprive you from any position. Politics has to accept you, and political means relation between state and subjects, relation with government and its people, relation with institutions and its members, and that is political. That is politics. It doesn't mean to become prime minister or to become minister. That is not only politics. Politics means how you lead your nation, how you lead your society, how you manage your system, how you serve your people, how you be accountable to people, and how people get into your access. That is called justice. Doesn't mean you should have any position. It means you should have status, acceptable, recognizable status. You must have in form of justice. It's not justice delivered by court only. That is legal justice. This is justice of social system, justice of economical system, justice of political system. That justice of legal system is something else. That is judiciary, and that is not justice. That is institution of judiciary. So let's come to the liberty issue. What is liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship? It's a big question mark. Liberty, freedom. Nobody can question you. Nobody should question you. Nobody has any right to question you what you think about. You can think anything. You can think good or you think bad. You can think positive or negative. This is your mind. This is your power. No one can enter your mind and check what you are thinking. Even if there is a way to enter your mind, no one has any right to that extent. You can think whatever you want, but if you think for this nation, that is most welcome. If you think for Bharat, for society, if you think for our individuality, that is also welcome, because you are also part of this country. So you think anything, no one can break your head, no one has the right to head, and no one can question you what you are thinking except when it's personal talk or personal individuality concerned at home. Your wife has a right to say what you are thinking, your kids have a right to say what you are thinking, but nation and society has no right until you allow them to ask you. So it is your freedom, your jurisdiction, your discretion if you tell people about your thing or you avoid people to explore what you think or expose them to see what you think. So this is another kind of imaginary power you get as far to an extent definition of liberty is related to. And then the expression. You think something, when your mind works, somebody thinks something, everybody thinks something, and that thinking something, if you try to express either on paper or in your verbatim talk to someone or in writing, expression can be of any form. It can be talkative, it can be uttered, it can be spoken, it can be contemplated, it can be written on paper, it can be, you can say, recorded, it can be done whatever way. That is called expression. You express in certain form, you express in certain structure, which is recognized, which is understandable by other person, and that's called expression. So you have every right to express. This may be something or nothing. It's up to you. If you write a book, you can write a book. If you write a poem, you can write a poem. If you write shayari, you can write shayari. If you write a story, you can write story. It's up to you what you do, and that's called freedom of expression. As it should be acceptable right, because you have every right to express. I'm talking only to expression. Your thought has come to expression. Your view has come to expression. Your internal matter has been exposed to public. So then public gets the right to read that or write or understand that. So you have shared your thoughts, your thinking capacity with others. And then belief. Question arises, people may accept what you write, they may not accept what you write. People may accept, recognize what you speak about or what you think about, they may not do. That is called belief. Until there is no logic, there is no system maintained by that or erupted out of that contemplation. So this is called belief. You believe or don't believe, it is up to you. And then there is faith, which is another term which is in same society, same group as belief, but faithful says, that is, you can say, you have to follow up. It's up to you. Whatever belief created there, some belief was created. That belief is right or not right, that is not a question here. Because belief is belief. You believe God or you don't believe God, it's up to you. You believe science or don't believe science, it's up to you. You believe someone you're faithful or not faithful, it's up to you. You believe, I believe it, that's it. There is no guarantee. There is no scientific method to ensure that you are saying right or it's not right. And that's why it's called faith. If whatever you write, I accept or don't accept, I believe or don't believe, that's my faith. My faith is in God, my faith is not in God. My faith is humanity, my faith is not humanity. My faith is in bad, or not in bad. Whatever my faith is, that is my choice and nothing true. So these are all interrelated to belief. So thought is basic, it is interrelated to expression, and then expression related to belief, and then belief related to faith, and then worship. Worship. It is very big word and it is very small word. First of all, it has no public meaning, but it has public meaning as well. When groups worship together, it is public meaning. When you worship your individuality with God, whatever God you believe, that is not public. You have direct relation to your contemplated God, whomever you consider, irrespective of what religion you are and what religion you believe in. I'm not talking about that. Worship means worship. You can worship anyone. You maybe have any religion. You trust in any religion. You believe in any religion. But it's up to you how you worship. No one can interfere in that. You worship earth, you worship sun, you worship God, you worship Allah, you worship Jesus, whoever you worship, your choice. Nobody can stop you. You worship stone, you worship water, you worship sun, it's up to you. You worship yourself, it's up to you. You worship your soul, it's up to you. You worship your statue, up to you. You worship your own Noshwai, up to you. You worship Jack. No one can stop you from that, and that's called liberty. It's basic liberty, pure liberty, and in contaminated liberty it is. It should be like that. So this is just an imaginary provision. Then go to equality, which is a practical provision. Equality. Equal means, it doesn't mean absolute equality. You can say it is relational equality, it is proportional equality, it is absolute ratioed equality, rational equality. You cannot say this is this equal to that in 100%. No, it is in proportion. Depending upon your capability, upon your consistency, upon your competency, what you can be, how much you can move, what milestone can you achieve, what is your destiny, where you want to reach, where you want to upload, where you want to get your download, where you land, where you take off. This is your own power. No one can interfere in that. What is your educational qualification, or what is not your educational qualification, or you are an agriculturist, or you are an illiterate person, or you are an uneducated person, it doesn't matter. To your competence, your capacity, your professional requirement, your mandate, what you have in your own life, whatever capacity of soul you have or physique you have, whatever you can do, it all counts into that. That is called equality. Means you are equal person, what he gets you should get. It doesn't mean if you are very poor, you are doing job of 3,000 rupees, you can get 3 million rupees. No, it's not that equality. Equality means equality before society, equality before system, equality in economics, equality in politics, equality in liberty, equality in life, equality everywhere, every structure of life, equality at national level, equality at international level, all count. So that is defined or included in that's the equality of status and opportunity. Status and opportunity. You must get status and you must get opportunity. Both are guaranteed to you depending upon your accountability value, depending upon your ethics, depending upon your considerations, depending upon your power, depending upon your initiative, depending upon your proaction, and depending upon what degree of responsibility and risk you can take. That is very important, because when you rise, there are risk factors. When you rise, there are enemies, there are friends, everybody with you. There are people who appreciate you and there are people who depreciate you. So forget all that. Whatever is there, whatever, you must be considered equal in status to your competent people, in which stratum you are, in which social structure you are, in which educational structure you are, in which professional management you are. You shall be given value according to defined levels, defined parameters. You will get that, and then opportunity will get that. No one can stop you for that, and it is in your own hands how much can you move your life to. There is no restriction, there is no defined parameters, no silver lining or red lining. That no red line exists in your path. You can go up to whatever level you want to go. Nobody can stop you. You can become president of this country, you can become chief justice of this country, you can become speaker of Lok Sabha, you can become prime minister, you can become whatever level you want. You can become chief of army, you can be international leader, and you can become whatever capacity you can do. You can move in, and this is called our liberty, our professionalism, our structures in constitution, our liberty, our values, everything is interpreted as such. You may have your own interpretation. I am not going to ban that. It is your own. You can use that. My own I express to you. But fact is this: these are there. These are there in theory. These are there in letter and spirit. But are they really happening? That is a debate issue. That is the issue where we have to contemplate and formulate our results, our contemporary thoughts. As I said, liberty of thought. So we have to think and express and then decide. And then what it says, to promote among them all. Promote among them, among whom? Among us, among public, among people of this country. These parameters granted, conferred on us by this constitution shall take us to promotion of all of us in consideration. Means they shall build a foundation in each and every individual of our country, our society, and this means we all shall constitute ourselves into an organized fraternity, brotherhood, belonging, we all in same family. This fraternity dictates fraternity assuring dignity of individuals. Dignity of individuals. Everybody has values, everybody has respect. You cannot say something, I don't respect you. Everybody requires respect according to their capability. You have to respect everybody. That's what fraternity is. You cannot say, no, you don't belong to this country, get out of here. That you cannot say. Because everybody is citizen of this country, everybody is the owner of this country. So fraternity formation is very must. It has been assured that your dignity will not be affected badly, and individual is there, dignity is for individual. And combination of all individuals, dignified individuals, is group. There is a unit group, and that is in further unit if integrate together. That is integration of nation. So nation constitutes of 135 crores people. That is also one of dignity. Everyone is equal. Equal in what? Equal in rights, equal in working performance, equal there. It doesn't mean your clothes are same, your body is same, your money is same. No, it's not that. Your own character, that is important. Integrity of nation. So further is given data, sir, which doesn't have explanation. That's what I said. We did that, and then this is just small explanation I just rendered to you. You can have your own, you can think your own, and that's very important for the develop that. So I am going to fundamental duties, which is also very important from point of view this one, because fundamental duty is very important. Without fundamental duty, we cannot move this country, we cannot stay in this country, and fundamental duty is very important from every point of view. So without fundamental duties, nation cannot move, people cannot move. Duty is very important in each and every respect. And it's very simple. There's no need of such explanation. Clearly, self-explanatory. Self-explanatory means you have to abide by Constitution. No one said no. You have to abide by Constitution. If you are citizen of this country, or else you are not citizen of this country, you are against this country. If you don't believe in Constitution, you have no right to vote. Simple. If you have no right to vote, you cannot contribute to this country's political system, to this country's social system, to this country's institutional system, and to this country's every system in economy, in society, and everywhere. So you have to abide this constitution, because this constitution makes many constitutions. This constitution constitutes many laws, many statutes, many delegatory, you can say delegated laws, delegated statutes, delegated laws, you can say legislatures. For example, you have own institutions, they have their own system, society is there, and you can say institution is there, they have their election system, their own system, their chairman and president and members and councils, all are there. They're all part of constitution, extended one. Basic constitution is there, but there are further laws, further statutes, further bylaws, all that is called, they all comprise indirectly constitutional framework. So if you believe in constitution, you believe in complete system of this nation, and then you have to respect its ideals. Ideals, we what ideals for when we are in fighting? We have a separate nation, independent nation. We want to live our dignity. Our resources are for us. Our future are for us. Our people are for us. This nation is for us. This is our property. This is our mother. This is our father, and we have to live like that. It doesn't belong to individual. It doesn't belong to few people. It belongs to every person, every individual, every citizen of this country, and that is called ideals. There are so many ideals, depends upon how you do that. There's no strict definition of ideals. My belonging of this country, and this country is belonging to me. I own this country and this country owns me. If I want to get something from this country, I have to give back to this country. That's ideal. Means I cannot destroy my country. I have to promote my country. I have to build it further strong, and strengthen it. And that is what is ideals. And then institutions. Yes, there are institutions. There are so many institutions. We have to respect everyone. Institution doesn't mean parliament only, or judiciary only, or legislature only. There are furthermore, these are prime institutions, which are moving for constitution, but they are furthermore, every family is an institution. Every bookseller is an institution. Every shop is like an institution. Every house is like an institution. Institution means which is institutionalized, which is legalized. Every unit, legalized unit is an institution. The small institutions, the big institution of engineers there, institution of chartered accountant is there, institution of universities are there, institution of polytechnics are there, institution of engineering are there, institution of every discipline are there, and institution societies are there. These are all institutions because they are doing something legalized. They are not doing any illegal work. Where there is illegal work, there's something, for example, smuggling is not an institution, robbery is not an institution, chori karne wala is not an institution, black makers are not institutions, black money is not institutionalized. That's what is said. So we have to follow institutions. We have not to follow illegal work. We have to do work which is exposed, which is approved, which is recognized, which is taxable, and which serves its country. That is called institution. Film industry institution, similarly engineering body is an institution. Medical body is an institution. It depends like that. which is institutionalized, which is legalized. And then national flag, we all know, no need of acceleration, that is our life, our blood, our soul. And then national anthem, which is also same as national flag. So we have to follow all this without any question, without any question, without any question. And then comes the next point B, which says cherish and follow noble ideals. I explained already that, which inspired our national struggle for freedom. So we have got it, and we have to accept this, we have to maintain that. And we will go to C, uphold and protect sovereignty and integrity of India. To uphold and protect sovereignty and integrity of India, we have to do that if we want to keep this country independent. As it is, we have to promote this country. If we don't care this country, this means we will lose status. We will download and we will lose our status. Somebody else will come and sit on our hand. If we don't, we find ourselves, we fight among ourselves, we dispute among ourselves, then it will affect our heads up, will down, and your sovereignty will go away, and integrity will be broken. It will disintegrate, as such says. This is just like a imaginary consideration. Say we are supposed to do that, even if this line is not inserted in this doesn't constitute part of this. Uphold and protect sovereignty, unity, and integrity of India. We have to keep brotherhood with everybody. We are not to fight among states with one state to one state. We are not to fight among inter-religion citizens, and we are not to fight upon inter-people. Interaction is a must. Interact, follow-up is a must. Inter-recognition is a must, and that's what you say we have to keep. Diversity is there. Diversity of religion is there. Diversity of socialism is there. Diversity of caste is there. Diversity of thinking is there. Diversity of language is there, and diversity of culture is there, and diversity of educational status is there. That all have to go in one unison, and that's requires to say. Only then we can say yes, we are Bharat, and we are India, and we are this, and we are that, and we are sovereignty, and we are democracy, and we are socialism, we are secularism, we are republican. Only then we can say. Otherwise, we have deficiency in that, and we shall have to face insults from others. That's what it says. And then it says to defend country and render national service when called upon to do so. This is very significant. It is our duty, even if it's not in here, to defend our country, because we are honor of this country. This country is our mother and father. This country is giving us food. This country is giving us 5 elements. This country is giving air, water, sun, everything. We are getting benefit from these resources hidden beneath surface, and we are getting life from this. We are getting everything from our area of country, and that is why we have to defend it if you want to survive. If you don't defend it, we cannot survive. Just like we lost our century, millenniums, when others came here, and foreigners came here, British came here, Mughals came here, and Aryans came here. We lost what we got, and that's why it says render national service. We, at risk of our life, we have to sacrifice our lives to save this country. And if it is required, we have to do that. And even if it's not forced upon, so we have to keep in mind that any time, whatever time you are asked to do that, you leave all activities and prefer that one upon all those which are your individually related, your socially related, your personally related. Nation comes first and person comes second. That is what it says. Religion is personal concerns. I'm not talk of that here. And then comes the point, it is to provide harmony and brotherhood among all people of India. There's no need to say that. Forget caste, forget religion, forget everything. If you want to make this country good, everybody is brother and sister and mother and father, and all relations are there in society. You have to follow that. You have to comply with that. You have to understand that. Brothers, sisters, everybody is there. All are there. You cannot deny their rights. Maybe they are not really blood related, but they are national related. They are constitutionally related. That is what is called brotherhood of this country. People of India together as family. There is no question of barricades of religions and language and regional or sectional diversities. You have to promote brotherhood, fraternity, as written in preambles, last one, and same thing is coming here, and that's a fact of life. You have to stay together. You cannot different the fraction among them. You're going to create fraction among them. You cannot treat them badly, but this is not happening. We will just reevaluate how these are working after this small discussion and deliberation. And this deliberation very important from this viewpoint and from your viewpoint, because it impacts upon existence and continuance power of our nation. And we have to renounce practice derogatory to the dignity of women, which is an international requirement, not only national requirement. Woman is woman and man is man. We have to respect women, not only bodily, but spiritually, mentally, physically. Woman has same right which you have got, you think you have got. So you have to treat them accordingly. Don't insult women and don't impact upon the modesty of women, and value them as you value your mother, as you value your sister, as you value your wife. You have to value every woman in a way respect is required. And then to value and preserve rich heritage of our culture. No need of explanation. Our culture is very rich, and there is no you cannot confine in certain definition our heritage. Everybody knows that for thousands and thousands of years, whatever has been going in favor of society must continue, and that relates to definition of secularism. It's not defined in this constitutional script, but that must be understood that way and should be taken accordingly. Then we go to point D, point G, which states, and then there is to protect, improve natural environment, including forests, lakes, rivers, and wildlife, and to have compassion for living creature. And this is very important that you are living under natural power, you are living under tree, you are living under rivers, you are living under environment, air, you are living under moisture, you are living in the rain, you are living in the thunderstorm, you are living all facilities with you, all impacts with you, all natural deliveries are with you, and you have to respect them. These creations of forests and lakes, creations of rivers and wildlife, we have no power. We had no power. Human had no power to create forests, to create lakes, to create rivers. If we want to create yourself, it will be very, very difficult and like impossible, because it will require a lot of matter. If you want to create a desert, a river, it's not possible. Similarly, in a desert, if you want to get a forest, it's not possible. A lake formation is not possible. So these are natural gifts which you received from God's blessings. So you have to improve them. You cannot destroy them. But we are does something else. So we will take it later on why we are exploiting this. And then they want to develop scientific temper. That is very important. Scientific temper, humanism, and spirit of inquiry and reform. What is scientific temper? Scientific temper doesn't mean BSc or MSc or something like that. It's simply education. Temper means we have to think scientifically. We should, even if it is social science or economics or even it's political science or it is physical science, it is physical chemistry, biology science, you have to be scientific, you have to be formalized, you have to be established, you have to follow certain structures of the systems of that, because science is not in itself original. Science has been drawn from natural phenomena. We have to understand nature, and once we understand natural system in a satisfactory manner, then that system automatically converted to science, because science tells you what nature is doing, how system is doing. Science in itself doesn't give you any original idea. That is very important. Water is available. We know scientists told that water is containing H2O, H2 parts of hydrogen and 1 part oxygen, and but that part is not available in basic. We must have hydrogen and oxygen only to construct water. But it tells us there is water available which is comprised of hydrogen and oxygen, and that is what is called science. Science told us that. Similarly, science told us about chemicals of radiations of suns, ultraviolet rays are there, or whatever air contains argons and whatever ethane, methane, whatever gases are contained there. And then we can say humanism, and all this applies to humanism. Without this, human cannot survive, and without it, we cannot research further. Research inquiry, we cannot question into questions. We cannot further question into answers. When there's answers, only the further question must be there, and that's why the spirit of inquiry, and that must be with us. Means we have to keep ourselves up on the inquiry, investigations of further research on each and every knowledge, and that's called spirit of inquiry. And then reform, and then if we get some negative answer from there, some negative information there, which must be applied onto that, and that's called reform. Means whatever formation produced was there acceptable, you have to further reform that, further change that, and that's what it says. Then you go to safeguard public property and intellectual violence. This is very common where people mob, or they get unrest, or they strike, or there's something. Means public property is impacted upon, which is not acceptable, because public property means for public, for nation, for state. It doesn't mean only for certain group, Gundaism group, or you can say unrest people, or you can say those people who believe in democratic rights and demonstrate. They should demonstrate peacefully and not by breaking buses and cars and setting them on fire, or doing some other acts that causes damage to national property. So let's go further to strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity, so that nation constantly rises to higher level of endeavor on education achievement. This is very basic. You have to get excellence in every field, in study, in work, in research, in politics, in socialism, in society, in offices, in factories, everywhere. Whatever work you do, it should combined will lead to excellent further works, excellent performance, excellent quality and quantity, excellent progress, and that should be in every sphere of individual and collective activity, means group activity, means factory activity, means industrial activity, and whatever you can say, where more than one person work. And that should come from the nation is rising. It continues to rise to higher levels of endeavor and achievement. When you keep on like this and making progress and progress and progress, you will get further level of your standing achievement. And then about education of 6 and 4 kids, means education is a must and we should do. So this is what these rights are. But we have to now consider, are we really following these rights? Are we doing disposing of that? That's very important point. We have constitutional preambles, we have constitutional rights, fundamental rights, we have everything. Are we doing that? That's a review. So now, before reviewing, I'll keep further moving and that what we studied so far in Constitution, that in this Constitution, what we have understood so far, that's a very big point we have to see. This is Constitution of Bharat, and we have to see how much we know about that. Constitution of Bharat says, if you just start from part 1, what we have studied so far, Union and its territories is part 1, and it says Article 1, that's the name and territory of Union. We studied name of our countries Bharat and India, not Hindustan. Just remember, Hindustan doesn't exist as an authorized name, an approved name of constitution of this country. So it was Article 1, and then we go to admission. Number Article 2, admission, establishment, new states. That is very common. Formula is given how states are augmented or states are named or formed. And then if we go to further level, that's formation of new states and alternate, means there's a complete definition how states are formed, how boundaries are delimited, and names or distinguished states is given there in schedule. And then number 4 is law made under Article 2 and 3 to provide for amendments of first and fourth schedule and supplemental, incidental, and consequential matters. So we have studied in that law for Article 4 how it is affected, and that is not very important from point of view of current talk. Now going to citizenship, which is Article 5, citizenship at commencement of this constitution, how it was, this is completely defined, and then rights to citizens to certain persons are also defined in Article 6. And if you go to number 7, it's the rights of citizenship of certain migrants of Pakistan and rights of citizens to certain migrants to Bharat, both are written 6 and 7. And that point is Article 8 states the rights of citizenship of certain persons of Indian origin residing outside India. It's all explained there. There's nothing in verbal, nothing in imagination. And then there's 8 which says the persons involuntarily acquiring citizenship of a foreign state not to be citizens of this country, Bharat. That's Article 9. And go to 10, it says continuance of right of citizenship. That's Article 10. And 11 is Parliament to regulate right of citizenship by law. And that's Article 11. And then go to Fundamental Right, Part 3. Part 3, fundamental rights. Please give certain definitions. Of course, fundamental rights, definitions are the states are there, something other which are known about the state is what it defines as parliament is a state, and states. All states with Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, states, governments, central government, then you can say, you can say their legislative, executive ministries, and all those which deal with all states and authorities, public authorities are states. And then you go to law means consistent with derogation of fundamental rights, means any law which is not confirming and which is not based upon your fundamental rights definitions or which are not based upon these constitutional requirements, those laws are called inconsistent and cannot move. Court has got every right to declare that this law is void. This law is void, and that stands then not to be applied. When right to equality is a fundamental right, means equality before law. As you said in preambles, equality, and same thing here, equality before law. Law means not in court. Law means equality in life, life, wherever it is. Court has to give justice, but law is law, and law says all are equal, No one is higher, no one is above, no one is below. That is what it says. And prohibition of discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, and place of birth. You cannot differentiate someone between these points: religion, race, caste, sex, and place of birth. These have got no meaning at all when persons grounds are concerned, persons values are concerned. Now we'll go further to the Article 16, which is equality of opportunity in matter of public employment. You cannot differentiate between two persons, whatever class they come from. Among public in employment, both are considered equal. Even if one is having bungalow or one is staying in JJ Chuguchar, both are come equal. The abolition of untouchability. Well, this was just a point which was abolished long before, that nobody remains Harijan or Pandit moving together. There's no bathroom law, but still they're thinking differently. And then abolition of titles, and 618 abolition of titles. Titles of kings are still abolished, and that is the definition of their here. The right to freedom. Article 19, protection of right regarding freedom of speech. Protection of certain right regarding freedom of speech. Everybody has right. According to preamble, you can speak, you can express, you can write, but that's called freedom, right? And this protected right. This right nobody can forcefully take from you. And that's 20. Protection of respect of conviction for offenses. Yes. And then 21 we learned protection of life and personal liberty. And then we learned right to education, and then we learned protection against arrest and detention in certain cases. These are all standard. You can read the Constitution, means it is only for your privacy, your liberty, your life, which no person can hamper upon you, can pull out from you. Right against exploitation, which is Article 23, prohibition of traffic in human being and forced labor, prohibition of employment of children in factories, means these are not allowed. And then right to freedom of religion, Article 25, right to freedom of religion, right freedom of conscience and free profession, practice and propagation of religion. And then in Article 26, which is the freedom to manage religious affairs, which is very, very clear, any particular religion. Freedom as to payment of taxes or promotion of any particular religion, Article 27, and then comes down to 28, is freedom as to attend religious instruction or religious worship in certain educational institutions. I'm just reading all these rights which we have already studied. It's not simply we are going to study them, we have already confirmed them, we have already learned them in various talks, which we have undergone so far in these 86 plain talk discussions. And I think maybe we are not sure about them, that we learned everything, but at least knowing also it's very important where these points, these provisions are located in. Once you know where it is located, you can just have access to that article and read that for further application into your issues. The cultural educational rights, which are embedded in 29, that is 29, which is a very important point. Protection of interest of minorities, means minorities, you know very well what are minorities. And 30 is right of minorities to establish and administer educational institutions. Article 31 repealed, and then we go to saving of certain laws, and which is 31A, saving of laws providing for acquisition of estates. 31B, validation of certain acts and regulations. And this, there were various acts, various regulations, pre-independence, which were in force, and certain these acts were taken up under presidential power, and many of them were available, approved, adopted, and many were repealed. Incidental that means regular or not regular. Then 31C says saving the laws giving effect to certain directive principles. Means directive principles are not mandatory, but some articles are written in that which must be gradually from time to time tried to be worked upon, to be constituted, further constituted, and public should get benefit of that. Then 31 to repeal and right to constitutional remedies, which says 32 article. Article 32. Remedies for enforcement of rights. Remedies for enforcement of rights. Conferred by this part. Enforcement of rights. If somebody is not allowing your rights, you have to enforce them. That is what is given in this article. Then 33, it's a power of Parliament to modify rights conferred by this part in their application to forces. And 34, restriction on rights conferred by this part while martial law is in. So this is not now, this is later on. And 35 was legislation to give effect to provisions of this part. Now part 4 was directive principles of state policy, and these were certain informations which may or may not be enacted or legislated in future for public purpose. And just narrate number article 36 is a definition of that. 37 is application of principles contained in this part. 38 is state to secure a social order for promotion of welfare of people. 39 is certain principles of policy to be followed by state, and 39 is equal justice and free legal aid. Then 40 is organization of village panchayats. A village panchayats is very significant part which rules our nation, and where empowerment to local people is allowed to all those people. Maybe lakhs of members are available in our panchayats. This is a constitutional status which was granted during Prime Ministership of Rajiv Gandhi. There were 2 points were granted that time. This was one of very important change. Is a panchayats which were not considered till that time institutionalized constitutionally, but later they impetus into constitution and included this panchayat system as constitutional system. And there is a separate list that applies to this one. You can go through that list and see what systems are there. I did not bring my laptop with me. Well, then you can go to further. Organization of village panchayats means you have to organize that. Law is there, elections are conducted, everything happens, and that is a constitutional provision, means higher than a statutory provision. Then you go to 41, which is right to work, to education, and to public assistance in certain cases. And then there is 42, which is a provision for just and human conditions of work and maternity regime. And then they talked about 43, the living wage, etc. for workers, and 43, a participation of workers in management of industries, and uniform civil code for citizens, which is not mandatory one, and it did not even affect, so I don't care about that. Because these do not change social system, these do not change your workability, these do not change your educational system. Then talking about provision for free and compulsory education for children. This is Article 45. Provisions for free and fair compulsory education for children. And then 46 is promotion of educational economical interests of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes and other weaker sections. So this is very clear that these societies, these scheduled castes, scheduled people, these must be promoted in education, economic interests of these people, these tribes and other weaker sections. Let's go to 47. Duty of state to raise level of nutrition and standard of a living and to promote public health. And then was of Article 48 is organization of agricultural and animal husbandry is a part of agriculture and village. You can say rural areas. It makes life there, organize their agriculture and animal husbandry. And 48A protection and improvement of environment and safeguarding of forests and wildlife. This is very significant. The protection, improvements, environment, and safeguarding is maintenance forest and wildlife. And 49 is the protection of monuments and places and objects of national importance. Protection of monuments, ancient buildings. We have to. And separation of judiciary from executive. That is understood. Article 50. And Article 51, promotion of international peace and security. Means involved is there Arjun charted in this promotion of international peace and security. Then part 4A, fundamental rights, fundamental duties, which we discussed recently just few minutes back. Fundamental duties. Then union, we discuss now. What is union in this? Union means government, union government. Now in this it says in chapter 1, executive is comprised of head, who is executive, there is a president and vice president in this. Then there's a definitions of the President of India, which is defined as the President of India, and its executive power of union, and election of president, then manner of election of president, then terms of office of president, and eligibility for re-election, challenge qualifications are for uh, elections of president, manner of election of president, terms of office of president, eligibility for re-election, qualifications for election as president, conditions of president's office, and oath or affirmation by president. So these are general procedures, you can say. These are procedures that are coming in constitution definitions, and that is just informative, I'm telling you. Then 61 is procedure for impeachment of president. Then other one 62, which is time of holding election to fill vacancy in office of president and term of office of person elected to fill casual vacancy. And that's Vice President of India, then Vice President to be an official chairman of Council of States, and then there is 65 articles, the Vice President to act as President or to discharge his functions during casual vacancies in office or during absence of President. Elections of Vice President, term of office of Vice President, time of holding elections to fill vacancy in office of vice president and to term of office of person elected to fill casual vacancy. Then oath or affirmation by vice president, and then discharge of president's functions in other contingencies. Then the 71, matters relating to or connected with election of a president or vice president. Then there is 72, the power of president to grant pardons, etc., and to suspend committee sentences in certain cases. There is extent of executive power of union. And then comes real union, that's Council of Ministers, and the physical union or government of this country. It is called Council of Ministers, and it's Article 74, which mandates what is Council of Ministers and what is the Prime Minister and what is President, etc. Council of Ministers to aid and advise President, and there is no separate chapter for Prime Minister in this list, and there is no separate chapter for Prime Minister. Prime Minister is not defined as a separate entity, but a part of Council of Ministers, located at the head of Council of Ministers. And then other provisions as to ministers, that's Article 75, and then comes Attorney General for India, and then conduct of government business in Article 77, and duties of Prime Minister as respects to furnishing information to President, etc., and that is 78. So let's go to Chapter 2, Parliament General. Parliament, what's Parliament? It's Article 79, which says Constitution of Parliament. Constitution of Parliament, and then there's one composition of Council of States and composition of House of People. These are defined in these articles. What is Parliament, what is Council of States, what is House of People, and then readjustment after each census. And after that is 83, which is duration of House of Parliament. For how many years it is? 5 years. And there is 84, which is qualification for membership of Parliament. And you know there is no strict qualification, no educational qualification, and no personal qualification, except certain age or criteria like that. And session of Parliament, prorogation and dissolution. The come on to it is the right of President to address and send messages to houses, and 87 is special address by President. And then it rights of ministers and attorney generals as respect houses. After we go to offices of Parliament, Article 89, chairman and deputy chairman, etc. Then I joined chairman and deputy chairman of Council of States and 90 rotation and resignation of and removal from office of deputy chairman. The power of deputy chairman on other person to perform duties of office of or to act as chairman. Then chairman or deputy chairman not to preside while a resolution for his removal from office is under consideration. The speaker and deputy speaker of House of People, the speaker and deputy speaker of House of People, vacation and resignation of and removal from offices of a speaker and deputy speaker, and then there is power of deputy speaker or other person to perform duties of office of or to act as speaker. Then speaker or deputy speaker not to preside while a resolution for his removal from office is under consideration. Salaries and allowances of chairman and deputy chairman and speaker and deputy speaker and then secretariat of parliament. The conduct of business is also defined there. It says in Article 99, oath and affirmation by members. And then voting in house, power of house to act, not withstanding vacancies and quorum. So the disqualification of members, conduct of business means we know very well. Disqualification of members, then is a paragraph, which is vacation of seats and disqualification for members and decisions on questions as to disqualification of members, penalty for sitting and voting before making oath or affirmation. Such so penalties for sitting and voting before making oath of affirmation under Article 99 or when not qualified or when disqualified. Powers, privileges and immunities of Parliament and its members. Powers, privileges and the sector of Houses of Parliament and of members and committees thereof. Salaries and allowances of members, and then alright, legislative procedures. Provisions as to introduction and passing bills. Legislative procedure. Provisions as to introduction and passing of bills, then joint sitting of both houses in certain cases, a special procedure in respect of money bills, definition of money bills, and incentive bills. And then we further went to procedure of financial matters on this annual financial budget, statement, and procedure of Parliament with respect to estimates. And then a provision bill, and 115 is a provision bill, and one next is supplementary, additional or accessory grants, and then votes of credit and exceptional grants, special provisions as to financial bills, and then procedure general, which is rules of procedure, regulation by law procedure in parliament or relation to financial business, then language to be used in parliament and restriction on discussion in parliament, courts not to inquire into proceedings of parliament. Then legislative powers, legislative powers of the president. Power of president is to promulgate ordinances or during recess of parliament. And then chapter 5, reviewing judiciary, which is very important point, and we just took off, so you can say Supreme Court area in this establishment of establishment and constitution of Supreme Court. salaries of judges, appointment of acting Chief Justice, appointment of ad hoc judges, attendance of retired judges at sittings of the Supreme Court to be a court of record, state of Supreme Court, original jurisdiction of Supreme Court, and appeal jurisdiction of Supreme Court. Hmm. Original jurisdiction of Supreme Court, appellate jurisdiction of Supreme Court in appeals from high courts on certain cases, and appellate jurisdiction of Supreme Court in appeals from high court in regard to civil matters, appellate jurisdiction of Supreme Court in regard to criminal matters, certificate for appeal to Supreme Court, jurisdiction and power of federal court under existing law to be exercisable by Supreme Court, special leave to appeal by Supreme Court, review of judgments or orders by Supreme Court, enlargement of jurisdiction of Supreme Court. Okay, jurisdiction powers of federal court under existing law to be exercised by Supreme Court, special leave to appeal by Supreme Court, review of judges or orders by Supreme Court, enlargement of jurisdiction of Supreme Court, conferment on Supreme Court of powers to issue certain writs, transfer of certain cases, ancillary power of Supreme Court, then ancillary power of Supreme Court, law declared by Supreme Court to be binding on all courts, decree and order of Supreme Court. Hmm. Power of President to consult Supreme Court, enforcement of decrees and orders of Supreme Court and orders as to discover. Power of President to consult Supreme Court, civil and judiciary authorities, uh, enforcement of decrees and orders of Supreme Court and orders as to discover. Power of President to consult Supreme Court, civil and judicial authorities act in aid of Supreme Court, and rules of court and officers and servants and expenses of Supreme Court interpretation. Comptroller and Auditor General of India, which is Chapter 5. Comptroller and Auditor General of India, duties and powers of Comptroller Auditor General, forms of accounts of Union and of states, and audit reports. And then we come on to state, which is also a very important factor here in executing, which is governor. Governor of States Article 153, Executive Power of State Article 154, Appointment of Governor Article 155, Term of Office of Governor 156, Qualification for Appointment of Governor 157, Conditions of Government Offices 158, Oath or Affirmation by Government, and discharge of functions. When discharge of functions of governor in certain contingencies, power of governor to grant pardons, etc., and to suspend, remit, or commit sentences on certain cases. An extent of executive power of state. The Council of Ministers is the same thing as Council of Ministers in Center, something going like that. So state and council are not different. The state legislature we talked of, and we talked of Office of State Legislature, and we talked of conduct of business and the resolution of members. So this way, state is also moving. There's no major difference if you consider state and that government. There's no major difference. Difference only erupted when we move further onto these articles. So we have to continue like that. Then we go to parts of the state, part two of first schedule. So an important thing all of this is that what are schedules? There's schedule 7, schedule 6, and schedule all that. Union territories and panchayat, we discussed that. Was panchayat and definition, gram soil sector, we all discussed. The basics I told you already. The facts. Alright. Then municipalities we discussed, and that is part 9A. And after that we discussed the schedule and tribal areas, and then legalized relations. So all this we discussed in those parts of question. So what I am stating is this: we just went through our Constitution of India from point to point, but we could not go thoroughly, and there was no time enough to do all 395 articles. Only this projection of this talk was just to have an appraisal of what is contained in our Constitution, which is very important for everybody else to understand, to know where we are and when we have some problem, we just run to a lawyer to know, and lawyer is also not clear about complete provisions in constitutions. So, being a general citizen, being a citizen of this country, everybody has certain rights, and these rights must be you can say applied, and you must get these rights on your own. You should understand something of your own. You're educated society, educated people. You are not illiterate one that you cannot read. Even if you are illiterate, you know Hindi, and Constitution also available in Hindi. So this just all these 395 articles which we have discussed so far. This amount to your knowledge, which you must have as a part of general knowledge, not a specified knowledge, not special knowledge. This is general knowledge that equips each and every citizen of this country with certain power to understand what our people are doing, what we are doing as society, I am doing as an individual, what my school is doing, what my university is doing, what college is doing, what my institution is doing, and what shopkeeper is doing, what mall people is doing, and what railway is doing, what transportation people are doing, what real estate people are doing, and what political people are doing, what everything we have to understand so that we understand our nation. Every nation has its own systems, and we have this system. Unfortunately, we don't understand this system. What is happening sometimes, there's a problem on my street, some drain is not working, or some sewer line is not working, or some water line is not working, or some other problem is there. Right, the problem here. And when I say, oh, government is not doing this, the prime minister doesn't know this, and MP doesn't, we have to understand to whom it relates. If somebody comes to me for seeking a vote, says, oh, what I ask, oh, where is my street is not working properly, you did not do. A question is that person is coming for something else, which is not his jurisdiction, which is not his prerogative to check into your drain work or into sewer work. We have to understand this, and that understanding comes only from your structure of constitution, a structure of your mechanism. For example, there are schedules, constitution, schedule 6th, there, 7th, there, 8th, 9th, 10th, all this there. They tell us what MP has to do, they tell us what MLA has to do, they tell us what council has to do, they tell us what panchayat person has to do. All these are available in our constitution, which we must refer to if we want to know what these people are supposed to do. If we do not know, means we don't know our duty first. We have to read this. Document is available. You are not doing an obligation to somebody. If you don't read this, when you go to school, you learn it, you appear an examination, you pass that. Similarly, you do new education, you got degree and diplomas, post-graduation, whatever you get. After studying, you get something. It's a society, and document is there. Our system is operating on that, and we have to understand that. If we don't understand, we will mislead ourselves. We will just talk nonsense, irrelevant. If I talk in parliament, standing by train is not working, it has no meaning at all. What MP will do there? You have to select MP, you elect MP. MP must know what he want to do. Here's his job. If he doesn't know his job, he just vote and say, okay, fine, thank you, go, you are MP. No, it's not that. Everybody has a job description. Our job descriptions are directory, are annexed, are scheduled. Our job descriptions of people are not defined one. Even job of president is not defined. Job of prime minister is not defined. Job of minister is not defined. They are just assumed their way. That is complete nonsense. There is no written description of job of a prime minister. Simply it is written to report to president what's happening in the country. Is that complete definition? That is not one. I don't agree with that, and you should also condemn that. They should define a job of everybody, because there should be control on each job description. organization. When you join an organization, there is complete job description given to you, and you have to sign that undertaking that I will dispose of this job to best of my capability and knowledge. Why you are done that? Because you are taking salary, or you are taking share from that company, or you are taking ownership in that responsibility. You are supposed to do that. If you cannot do that, you are kicked out of that. And because you are paid, you have to do this. Same thing applies to every person of this government, every person of ours. Ours means nation. Prime Minister has a job, President has a job, Chief Justice of India has a job. Everybody is paid from public funds. That's called consolidated fund of this country. They are supposed to perform. If they cannot perform, they are not required. Whatever height you have in status doesn't make a difference. If I am paid, it is my professionalism, it is my religion to work out and deliver. Religion doesn't mean you are Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, and Isai. Your work is also religion. Work is top worship. That religion comes later on. You have to work first. If you cannot work first, there is no meaning of your worship, and there is no meaning of your being Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, or Isai, because this religion is giving you everything. This work is giving you food. This work is giving you life. This work is giving you liberty. This work is giving you advancement, opportunity. You are progressing every day. You are leading your nation. You are leading yourself. You are getting money. That comes only an imaginary religion. Hindu religion, Muslim religion. These are all imaginary. Nobody knows who is there, who is God, who is power. But this is not imaginary. You are building your nation. You are building your society. You are building your world. That is the reality of life. Just like you make a house, it's called real estate work, because you are making something, you are producing something from natural resources which are God gift. Natural resources are not paid by me and by you. These are natural formations, a part of earth, and earth is resources. So this pools of wealth. Earth is our economy. Every country gets economy from earth. Other earth or surface of other waters or nature or envelope of air, it's called aerosphere. We are not getting wealth from somewhere else. We are not getting wealth from space. Only sun we are getting from space, and this wealth is giving us economy, so we have to respect that. If that earth available here, if that will give us food, iron, steel, aluminum, gold, platinum, and rare earth, it's giving so many items to us, and extracting from that's giving us petrol and kerosene and diesel and water and air. Everything earth is giving us, so we are economically dependent of earth. It's called stone, though it's a part of stone is just 12,000 kilometer diameter of earth. It cannot be said that just nothing. Without earth we cannot have. We are saying, oh, we are very rich economically, America is very rich economically, Russia is this and that. They're all exploiting earth, and that's what we have to think, how much we can exploit. There is a relation to exploit also. You cannot go freely. We have enough water. Water is there. Energy cannot be tested. Water is also a part of energy. Every time there's rain, there is flood, there is famine also. Because we are foolish people. We are not resolved till now in this age how to protect this waste of water. Why not to preserve this water? We started long back. The Bhakra Dam was considered just to store water in form of reservoir, and when it's required, just to use it for purpose of irrigation or purpose of turbine movement, so electricity is generated, or for navigational purposes or fishing purposes or so dam is called a multi-purpose project. We have exploited RCC, we exploited concrete, we exploited cement without even understanding how much we can use it. Economists are economists because they know economics, because they do not know earth also. That's a fact. Even you are PhD in economics, you are not well clear how much material you have in earth in your portion. That is what I am saying. We have to understand this science of society, which is called institution, which is called constitution. Constitution of this country means institution plus institution plus institution plus institution. When you combine all institutions, it's called constitution. This is definition of constitution. It is not simply a book. No, it's a thought, it's a contemplation, it's a design, it's a research, it's a complete system which is full of many systems and called constitution. You have to analyze your part, you have to screen out your part where you are responsible, and everybody has a right to do its job, and that is called a nation contribution, national contribution. If I think only for myself, I cannot develop this nation. Every citizen of about 7 billion people, they are responsible for this. Just similarly, we are responsible for our part of earth. And if we exploit earth part only and abuse that, that is not called our leadership quality. That is called abusive leadership. We are leaders. Prime Minister is not leader. We have to manage. We have delegated power to these MPs, and MPs have delegated power to Prime Minister and President work for us. And they are working or not working, that's another issue. I'm not going to that at this moment. I'm just suggesting what we have to be as citizens of this country. As citizens of this country, we have to think over. Money is not everything. We have to understand what is money and what is economy. There is a relation between economy and money. Every day our rupee is falling. What is the reason of that? We have to think of why we are falling in our value, why we are falling in our currency. There is a reason that we are not delivering anything. We are not exporting anything. We are just importing all this. Why we are not exporting? That's a question mark. We are not exporting because we are not producing, and we are not producing means we have no quality system. We have no quality system, quantity system. Our work is not accepted around the world. Their quality is very bad. Our production quantities are very bad. We produce something, we don't qualify that. We are failure there. If I do something and that is not qualitative, people will not accept my whatever producer, whatever money I spend, there's no value. If my products are acceptable, we don't believe in quality. We don't believe in safety. Safety and quality are these days very dominant factors in the whole world. If your work is not based upon safety, you cause accidents. We have to understand constitutionally why we do not do that. Why don't we have a culture that inputs this quality and safety criteria? Why don't you go to real estate project, you go to railway project, you go to airport project, you go to any project, all people are just cheating each other. Why? Only money making is your culture? Only money making by hook or by crook is your representation? Is this your country? That is a question mark we have to ask ourselves. We don't need that America should tell us or France should tell us or these bloody countries which don't know anything themselves, they should tell us. We have our own minds. We are an educated society. We have to understand where do we stand in our book of institution, our book of constitution. This constitution doesn't mean law. It means our society. It means how we have to work. It says in duties, fundamental duties, that you have to talk of science and not of religion. And science is religion, science is culture. Science means it tells us what nature is working for, how solar system is working, how earth is working, what resources we have, what power of nature we have to utilize that. But we are not thinking that way. We are thinking in communalism, we are thinking of fighting together, we are thinking in religion, we are thinking in enmity of each other. That is happening. This should not happen. We have to avoid that. And that can be avoided only when we understand ourselves. We have to research inside ours what we are. Are we born for fighting with each other? Are we born to represent ourselves? Religious factors, Hindu, Muslim, Sikhs and decide, is that our destiny, or our destiny is to make this country better than all others? What we have to do, we have to understand. We are not dependent upon some leader. We are dependent on ourselves. I am not born into Bharat, India, only to vote. No, that is not my destination. My destination is to improve this state, improve this country, improve the part of world. That is what I have to do. I have come to earth only for that, not to vote to this or to that. No, it's not that. I am not supposed to. This is my not duty. This is my destination, but that should be continuous. I have to check also. If I cannot check, I am my clothes here everywhere tied up and don't use it. What's fun? If I am very well educated, there is no meaning of that. If I allow some poor worker to fall from scaffolding and I just look, let him die, let him go to hell, no problem. There are so many people. Is that my professionalism? If I waste natural matter in form of disposal of concrete or some other material on the polluting air, is that professionalism? What is professionalism? Professionalism means expertise. You should know each and everything about your work. That is professionalism. If you are not able to do safe work, if you're not able to deliver qualitative work, if you're not able to satisfactory, custom satisfaction, value-added service, you cannot call yourself even an organization. You are a rubbish kachra on this country. You have to understand that. You may be very reputed, you may be having very good offices, you may be having very good residences, you may be having very good cars, you may be having big bungalows. Do not make a sense until you serve this country, which is required. You go to Germany, see how research is done. You go to some other country, see how research is done. We are not spending anything on research. We are just spending on, you can say, drama, tamasha, nothing else. We are a country of fools, but we have to come out this fooldom. We are a country of sleeping professionals. We have to come out of that. We are a country of sleeping society. We have to come out of that. Seriousness doesn't account for us. We don't own seriousness. That's the problem. We were serious sometimes long back, but that has got a meaning now. No one is serious. Just everybody wants to do some job and live. We have to check systems and then produce goods. If you have good production, if you have quality production, value added services, you can export them. Yes, you are exporting part of that. For example, you are exporting software services, fine, but you are not owning that. You are just service, you are just serving someone. Similarly, you are exporting some other items, but on all this overall, you are importing. So that's what you are not improving your nation. You are not doing fundamental duties. You are just surviving for sake of survival, and that's all. Why are economics down? Because of this reason. We are not concerned. None of us is concerned. Maybe 1 or 2% people. It doesn't make sense. We are born to destruct our nation. We are born to and all world is born to destruct this earth as well. A person who is designing atom bomb or making atom bomb, you think that person is cooperative to this earth? These bombs are available in various countries. What shall they do? They shall one day used. If they are used, what shall happen? Destruction. That is what I am saying. We have to be matured society. Till now we are not matured. Though we are very ancient society. Indira Gandhi used to say in presence of Nixon when she was young that America is very young. We are very ancient. She said, but people are not doing that. We are very old. But we are not proving we are old. We are proving we are responsible. No, we are not responsible. We are proving that we are responsible. We have no system. We are latecomers. We have no punctuality. We have no regularity. We have no accountability. We have no consistency. That's what we have proved. If we have proved that, who shall value us? We may be very qualified people. We may have any big certificates of engineering or medical science, but we are looting public. Doctors are not serving public as they should serve. Engineers are not serving in management as they should serve. They are not caring for materials. They are not caring for workers. They are not caring for values. They are not caring for anything. Why they are not caring? What for they are there? If you say so many lakhs engineers are coming every year to our country, but they are not employed because they don't know job. Why they don't know job? Because they learn. They believe only in theory, only in just giving certificates, and after they want to sit on computers and do design work. Design is a part of engineering. It is not full of engineering. Engineering means you have to work and know. You have to apply that knowledge. If you cannot apply that knowledge, you are not an engineer. Finished. You may be having good design knowledge, doesn't make a difference. If that design is not executed, it's not implemented or prosecuted, what's the purpose of that? If I do very good design of a building and that is not done on site, this contractor or builder doesn't want to do that. He just wants to make money. He doesn't care for any quality. What shall you do with that? Architect wants very finished, good finish. It doesn't care what's the structure. Engineer wants to see structure. It doesn't care what finishes. Question is there is no proper coordination. Builder or promoter wants to save money. Engineer says, don't do this. He says, why you worry? I want to do this. Finish. It's my building. It's my arm. I have to sell it. You're going to sell it. That type of country we are. So why don't you understand? Profit is profit, but profit is not exclusive. Everything. Don't do if you don't want to do. You are just doing business for making profit only. Is that your conscience? Is that your goal? Your profit? Of course you shall get profit. But if people die in that building collapses, you will run away and police shall be behind you. It happens. We don't care for safety. Many of shutterings are open during construction itself. What's the purpose of that? And even after shutting is not open, you lay slab and after a few months it collapses because of design failure. What's the purpose of that? Is what I'm saying. There is no quality production. Same thing happens in machine line also. Same thing happens electrical. There is fire because of electrical shortcuts. There is no maintenance properly in every building. Even if you go to UAE, some other country, you will find fire because of shortcuts, fire because of open wires. They are also same because we are also working there. Pakistan is also, all are working. They are careless people. We are careless here and we are careless there itself because we don't care. But we have to think of this country first. We have no value for water resources engineering. Every time flood is there, every time excess water is there, that water is wasted, and so we do not preserve because we have no system. We have no river canal. River linking project is not working. It's not started. Nobody cared for that. Canals have not been there. No transportation by water. Nothing is there. What we are doing? That's what I'm saying. Constitution is being just for name's sake of constitution. We are not even understanding our constitution. Constitution doesn't mean just a book. It means we have to comply with that. It says you have to stay harmonious, you have to stay with production, you have to take this nation up to higher levels, but you are not taking it to higher levels. We are taking it to our political levels. If some prime minister says, oh, we have our GDP and this and that doesn't mean anything, because we are not getting anything. GDP doesn't make any sense if we are failed everywhere. if we are not respected internationally, if we are not respected nationally. So many accidents, so much plastic. It appears that this country is growing crops of plastic. Nobody is taking care of that. First of all, we are throwing. We are not thinking even how to throw, why to throw it. We are not even, you can say, collecting in one place to dispose it off or to bury it in the earth. We are not even thinking that level. So what people we are? Are we scientists? Are we engineers? Are we doctors? Are we politicians? Or what we are? I don't concern anything of that. I think we are wasteful society, wasting natural material, wasting our own money, wasting our time, wasting our quality system, wasting everything, and we know every system, but we don't work on that. There are conferences, engineering for change. Engineering for change, there is a seminar, but what change? Where is engineering? Medical, where is medical? If a poor person dies because one doesn't get medical aid, what is the purpose of that? If you have very beautiful hospital like Apollo or some other hospital, very big 5-star, 7-star type, but no treatment. If you admit yourself, you get 5 lakhs, 25 lakhs, then it's just 2 weeks. From where shall you pay that? Question is, where is required? You are not meeting requirement of common man. If I am admitted, I have no money or no very good insurance, I cannot get treatment. If I cannot treatment, what is the meaning of constitution and what is the meaning of state and what is the meaning of government? This is complete self-cheating or not? We have to understand that. So why are we just happy in having constitution and government and both are working or not working? We have to check. Who shall check that? Only we shall check that. We are honor of this country. We can leave it to exclude the government of this country because government is only a part. Government has no full authority. Authority is with us. Public is working. We have to see where we are working. I have talked to many people here, qualified engineers, and they don't even know what is advanced technology. I ask many engineers, tell me the temperature of concrete. They don't understand what's temperature of concrete. I ask them, why are you using OPC? So yes, we are using OPC because that's available. Any substitute? No substitute. So what we are learning? Question is, what I ask them, every technology is changing day by day. Changes means changes. Life is changing. Change for change. Every moment change. Body change, mind change, everything changes. Metal changes. So you have to change according to change. You have to adapt technologies. Yes, some people are adopting. I'm not saying they are not adopting. They are adopting, but very hardly 1 or 2% people, 90% people, 95% are not even thinking. We have to change our systems. Even if you change our system, application doesn't come in, execution doesn't come in. What's the meaning of change? There may be thousands of laws in our country, no purpose. Nobody knows what law is. If today you want to know some laws, you don't know from where to find that. You have to ask some lawyer, and our lawyer also doesn't know. You have to some other lawyer, that lawyer doesn't know. There is no collection of laws. There is no codification. It is only not in laws. It is everywhere. If I want to do some engineering work, I have to find which code is there. There are so many codes, no codification of codes. So what we are doing? We are only bureaucratic system, a system that is polluted one, a system which has no scientific basis, that is called bureaucracy. Bureaucracy means there should be one desk for one man and that desk should tell you everything. That is called bureaucracy. But here, 50 desks for one item. You go here, then you don't find there, then you go to there. This way you waste your time, and time is value, time is money. If I waste only in searching, when shall I work? So there should be something, no organization. We are unorganized societies. Yes, we are unorganized societies. We are a valuable society. No, we are not valuable societies. We don't care for anything. And that is what I understand as an individual. Maybe your opinion is different. You can conflict my understanding. I don't mind that. But give reason. I want logic. That logic is not there. I attended one safety seminar. It's SHG, safety, health and environment, and I raised certain issues about the atmosphere. Nobody had any response. We are not even thinking of that. We are driving 35 crores cars, trucks every day. We are not even thinking how to reduce that. We are driving every day air conditioners, 20 crore air conditioners in the summers. We are not thinking how to reduce that. Every machine, every equipment adds to pollution. We are not thinking about that. We have generators when there is no electric supply, open gen 35 kV to 50 kV generators are placed every year on footpaths. Go and see, and they start working during electricity, not electricity. Every home is having generators. They start their generators. So we are adding to augmentation of pollution, and which raises temperature around in hot season and which reduces temperatures in cold season. This is called global warming and global cooling, which we just say, no, it's global warming. Iceland ice has melted and it shall continue to melt. Because of this reason, we are not taking any care. And we are saying, oh, temperature is 42 degrees, humidity is 95%, how to live? It's burning outside, France is burning, US is burning, UK is burning, and 50 degrees, Saudi is burning, 56 degrees, Iraq is burning. Burn, you have to burn, because you used to burn, you exploited all petrol, diesel from earth and spend that. You earned money, but you have added bad atmosphere to your, there is fair bad atmosphere. Yes, you have to do that, because you polluted air. It all is there into our consideration. But as advanced we are, same thing we are getting, we can say, negative results, adverse results on us. So we have to understand that, but we cannot understand, never. I think less educated people are better than more educated people. Higher you go on studies, you cannot decide, you remain confused. That's our status. We are very highly qualified society, lacks of highly qualified doctors, lacks of highly qualified engineers, lacks of highly qualified professionals. But we cannot control this country. We have become more and more sentimental, emotionally based society. We are not logical society. We are not thinking society. We have no school of college of thoughts in us. We just accept everything what this uneducated, illiterate politicians say. They do whatever we just sanction. Yes, that's our problem. We have no word to check or to speak against them. And until we don't speak against them, we cannot get anything. This is my ultimate thought. Speak, open your eyes, raise your eyes. Otherwise, you cannot set our country right. It can never be set right. This is my promise to you. If you don't make yourself right, you cannot set this right. Just be busy in your family, busy in your wife, busy in your kids. Think of them only. But they cannot be successful in future, because future is not for them. Future is never for them, because we have already spoiled everything. We have spoiled, and we will keep spoiling. Everybody is spoiling. Spoil. You are spending money because you know this money is number 2 money, no problem. No, do it, waste it. You think that way. People are having number 2 money, so they don't care for anything. That's our, you can say, drawback. So what I state is, we have to understand Constitution is not a book alone. It is a public system. It is a system asking us, public, to change yourself. We have to see, are we in a position to change, or we have only one point, that we have to live for sake of living, and that's it. Okay, live for sake of living. Then don't complain. Don't complain. If somebody is having 90% wealth in one hand, let it be. You stay poor, no problem. Why Constitution says everybody is equal, everybody must have opportunity. That person have 95% opportunity of wealth of this country, and you are having 5% opportunity in 98% of people. So this is your status. There is no value of status and equality. It is equality of status and opportunity. Then there is equality. If somebody has pulled everything in his hand, then where is that Constitution gone? If one religion thinks I am mighty, then where is Constitution gone? Then Constitutional preambles falsify everything. We are living in a, you can say, foolish world. Foolish world we are living, which has made us foolish as well. We are not a logically thinking society. We are emotional fools. That's what I would say. Well, no need only to backbite or criticize. I am just saying something that you should add to that. Maybe I'm wrong. I cannot say I'm right. It's my concentration. Whatever I'm thinking, I'm expressing. You have full right to express according to Constitution. You can say, no, I'm wrong. You are absolutely, you can say I'm absolutely wrong. Yes, I can be wrong. But you tell me what is right. You tell me what is solution. You have a duty to tell me, or accept me what I'm saying, and revolutionize what I'm saying. You have to bring revolution to this country for change. Country has no revolution. People are sleeping. They're enjoying. They don't know what is freedom. They don't understand what is slavery. They don't understand what is heat. They don't understand what is harm of this temperature and moisture. They don't understand what ultraviolet rays. If you tell them, they cannot understand what to do. If they don't understand what is natural wealth, they don't understand how this comes from. They don't understand anything. They just enjoy life. That's all. Comfortable life, comfortable living. I am prosper, and that's I should prosper. I don't care for my neighbor. I don't care for a distant person or remote person sitting in Tamil Nadu or in another person. I care for myself, and that person says, I care for myself. When their I comes in, then nation goes out of vocabulary. There's no nation if you just say I, and I. When we say, okay, we are all together, Indira Gandhi never used to say I, she always used to say yes, hum ye karte hain. When there's a question of hum, a collective formation is there, a groupism is there. When people work in a group, in a collective system, they can raise this country. We cannot leave country to one man, remember. No man is perfect to lead a country. Even it's a small country. We are a country of 30 countries. We are not. Maybe 50. Whole Europe is less population than us. America is less population than us. We are country of 140 crore people, which is many, half of what, one third of what we are. And we are not doing anything. Not anything. China has gone very far away from us. We cannot learn from China. America is rubbish now. America is nowhere. Forget America. Forget Arab. Forget Britain. Britain is lost. It's a warehouse. Not even a warehouse. It is our problem. Every problem. Only we are still safe because we have cheap human, cheap, you can say HR. We have cheap materials still. We can utilize that in a better way. Those people don't have. America is waiting from China that you can say rare earth has to come from there. He doesn't have rare earth. China has got rare earth. He's abusing America now. He has earth that can be used for atomic structure, that can be used for weapons, that can be used for so many other items very expensive, and that's available where? That's available in earth, in China. We don't have that, and if we have, we don't exploit that because we are based on certain people only. We are not thinking of society, and that is a problem. So we have to understand all these points. If we cannot understand all this, why we are sleeping society? I simply say, I am a civil engineer. Civil engineers should be fighting, but we are fighting people. You ask any civil engineer, they are always very harsh people, never talk polite. They get angry very much, and because of their work, they fight with people, labor, workers, and they fight with robbers also because these contractors are robbers, these suppliers are robbers. These are everybody wants to cheat. So civil engineer character is different, and that's what I am, and I'm proud with that. That at least somewhere I'm fighting, somewhere I'm struggling, but people are enjoying. Oh, talk diplomatically, talk this and that. Miss diplomacy, diplomatically, talk polite. This you spoil this country. That's just, don't speak against anybody. We have to pull up this contractorship, pull up these tenders and loot this country. We have to pull up these banks and loot this country. This is what we are doing. Government is pulling up everything. The banks are pulling up everything and allowing loot. So everything is there. Loot, loot, and loot. Our economy is collapsed. We are asking RBI, come on, you come on, leave your money, give us money. This is the management of government. This is money, my money. My money is being lost, it's robbed. And I am allowing them rob it. No revolution till now. No revolution. 2016, now 2019, no revolution, nothing. People are sleeping, no problem. Let Modi care, let somebody else care. They shall care, all their servants, they are looting this country and they are allowing them loot, no problem. This is people of Bharat, India, a completely baseless, senseless, thoughtless people, sleeping people. I should say that we are like, there's no difference between an animal and our citizens. Same. When you don't use your mind, God has given you a mind, animal is animal. We are also animals, living and living and living, and that's it. Nothing else. Well, I should say thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining, who was there. And sorry that I spoke something very harsh, because I think it is my duty to tell you like this. In my personal interest, in interest of nation, and in your interest. Speaking harsh is better than telling lies. It's better than to be diplomatic, because diplomatic people cannot solve problems, they create problems. Either solve problem or forget problem. Either of two. If you cannot solve it, surrender it, give to somebody else who can solve it. That is solution. That is principle. Either solve it or don't promise. There is a time limit, solve it or give it to someone else to solve it. Don't waste time. Don't take risks. So we have to solve problems. And problem is not one. There are everywhere problems, political, non-political, economical, and social, secular, everywhere this problem. So we have to solve problem. Otherwise, our country is not going to stay forever. Believe me. This country is only for namesake, not for promotion, not from upgradation. If our economy is falling, means we are falling. Today we have whatever value of rupees, you will find in 2 years it may be 150 to $1. Then what you should do? Go and see Libya. What is Libya? Go and see Iraq. What is Iraq? When I was in Iraq, it was 28 to 30 rupees per dinar, and now what's the values there? Same thing applies to Libya, and go and see Libya, because these people were fighting together, and same thing is happening here. You are losing your money. Lose your money. Money means your blood, your sweat, blood of farmers, blood of workers, blood of you. Lose this money. Yes, lose this money. That's what you can do. You cannot augment this money. You can control this money. You cannot preserve this money. You allow loot, allow loot. That is your country. You have to see the consequences of this nation. Nobody else will see. They may say anything. Politicians can speak anything. Who bothers about them? I don't believe in politicians because they have failed always. They cannot do anything. They don't know anything. They only know one thing: vote, vote, and vote, nothing else. I'm not concerned with vote. I have to think for myself. I have to think for nation. You have to think for nation. If you cannot think, up to you. Thank you then. Worry, don't worry. You have to save your country. If you want to save it. If you want to destroy it, destroy it. Destruction is very easy. Dynamite is there. You can destroy. Building comes down. Collapses, no problem. So, my dear friends, if you can think, if you have time in your life, you have a half an hour thinking a day or 20 minutes thinking a day for you. You revolutionize something if you want to live. If you teach others, you tell them what to do, at least you can add to that. If you say, no, what I have to do, that person will do. What can I do alone? That person will do. Okay, you are alone, remain alone, no problem. If same thing Gandhi thought, if same thing some other thought, you would under slave of still, in 2019, British would be here to rule you. And that was better, I think, for you, because you are used to beating, you are used to stay on ice slabs. That is what your fate should be. And you are qualified for that. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you for joining. And Jai Bharat, that's all.